Good morning, all of you. So today our topic is material and their properties, means how you can differentiate their material. First of all, before material, we need to know what is an object. Okay, what is an object? So object is something you see many things around yourself. Okay, you see many things around yourself like table, bottle, doors. There are so many things around you. So they are basically made up of different materials. So what is an object? First of all, before material, we need to know that what is an object. So, what is an object? So object is something which we can touch or feel, right? Anything which we can touch and see. Okay, so anything which we can touch and see is called a object. Clear? Before material, we need to know what is an object. So object is something like, for example, this marker, I'm having this mark, so this is also an object. Now material, for example, you can take any example. You see many things around yourself now: shoes, box, pen, anything. Okay, so they all are made up of material. Now you all know anything which is made up of. Now secondly, what is a material? Material is the objects which we are using to make a particular thing. For example, if we talk about a chair, okay, a chair is made up of plastic or a wood. So that wood or plastic is a material. Okay, so if we talk about a chalk, that chalk is also made up of some kind of material, right? There are some, for example, if you make a dish, okay, any food item or food dish, so the raw materials which we are using to make a dish is called ingredients. They are called ingredients. So anything, ingredients is particularly used for the food items, but object, material is used for any kind of material when we are using anything, so that is a material. Clear? So before material, we need to know what is an object. So object is anything which we can touch and see is called object. And what is a material? Anything, the thing which are made up of one or two things, they are called material. Clear, all of you? Now basically, what are the examples of material? You can see over here, a material is a physical substance. A material is a physical substance used to make things. As I told you that when you are making a thing, if you are using more than one thing or one object, that is a material. Clear, all of you? That is a material. Secondly, for example, these are the examples you can see that which is we can use to make something. Metals, basically we use when we make something, basically we use metals. Plastics, ceramic, glass, fibers are some of the main categories for the material. Basically these are the examples that we use these kind of things for making one object. Clear? Now if you look around yourself, you see many things around you, okay, that are basically made up of material only. When you are using one or two things to make a single object, they are the things are called the material, and one object, the result is an object. Clear? Now next is classification. Okay, how you classify things? How you can classify the things? For example, I've given you a bundle of toffees and a bundle of chocolates. What you can easily classify according to their, how you can classify them? According to their shape, according to their size. Okay, so classification is the process of It is basically the grouping out of things. Okay, so what is the meaning of classification? Grouping out of things. Grouping out of things according to, on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. On basis of their clear? So grouping out of the things according to their similarities. For example, if I've given you an example, right now only about the toffees and chocolates. What you can easily differentiate between them according to their shape, according to their size. Okay, so that process is called classification. Clear? So grouping out of a things into according to their similarities and dissimilarities are called classification. And what are the importance of classification? What are the importance of classification? It basically helps the systematic way of study. Means you can easily differentiate between the study of a particular thing. Okay, it will give you a, it will help to easily locate the things. Easily locate the things. Also helps in the systematic way. Clear, all of you? So this is the importance of classification. So if the question will come, what is the classification? What you will write? Grouping of the things according or on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities is called classification. And what are the importance of classification? When you can easily look, what is the importance? The importance of these are, this will tell you the systematic way of study. You can study the systematic way of the things. Secondly, you can easily locate the things. Okay, easily differentiate the things. Next, for example, you can see I have given you these examples that the clothes you are wearing are made up of fibers. So this clothes is a object and fiber is a material. Okay, so the result means this is a result, so that is an object and this is the thing which we are using, so this is a material. Clear? Next is the chair you are sitting on is made up of plastic. So this chair is a object and this plastic is a material. Clear, all of you? Next example, the windows in the school are made up of glass. So window is a object and this glass is a material. Clear, all of you? So this is how you can easily differentiate between the things, that what are the objects, what are the materials. And now maybe it is clear to you that what is the object and what is the material. Next, I've told you about the classification of materials, how you can classify the things, how you can group out the things easily according to their shape and size. Now, what are the properties of material? The property of a material is a description of the characteristic which it has. They are adjectives which tells us about the material. Right? I have told you about this thing, that what are the material. This is a kind of classification, the property of a material. The The property of material, for example, if we take a sponge, okay, you can easily scrub them into your hand. So that is its characteristic. And if I have given you a piece of wood, you cannot, that is a hard thing. So that is the property of that wood, right? So the things are descriptive, as I told you, how you can classify the things according to their similarities and dissimilarities, right? So the property of material is a description of the characteristic which it has. Now they are adjective which tells us about the material. Next is material have different properties and characteristics depending on what they are used for. For example, the pen is basically used for writing. So you can, if I've given you a bunch of copies and pen and pencils, so you can easily differentiate what is used to be write. Pen and pencils are used for writing. So you can easily differentiate between pens and pencil. You can easily group the things, grouping out the things. You will, I've told you to differentiate, to separate the things. You will separate the copy and books and notebooks on a one side, and on the another side you will easily locate the things, and grouping out the things means marker, pen, pencil, whatever you are having, you can easily differentiate, right? So that is used, basically the characteristic depends on what they are used for. Okay, next is some materials are hard, others are soft. Some are strong and others are weak. So these are the things. You all know that everything has a different texture, different touch. So now we'll study about those things. These are the list of properties, the things which, first is, here is the list of properties which describe, which defines the different kind of things. First is shiny. What do you mean by shiny? When it reflects light. So when I told you about one word that is shiny, what will come in your mind? We can say a diamond. Why? Because it reflects light. Okay, it reflects light. So when something which reflects light is called an object which is shiny. Next is strong. That means it won't break easily. That is, we can say bricks, right? Bricks, when you throw a brick or a stone, you can say stone is also a kind of a hard object only, so it won't break. So that is a strong thing. Next is flexible. It can bend easily without breaking. For example, rubber band. Okay, I've given you a rubber band. You can easily bend them in any direction. So that means that is a flexible thing. That is a flexible thing, means you can, any object which you can bend easily is a flexible thing. Next is light. It doesn't weigh much, means the lightest thing. For example, a sponge. I've given you a sponge that they do not have weight. Okay, which weightless. So that is, we can take cotton, sponge. Clear? Next is heavy. So it weighs a lot. Heavy means it weighs a lot, means those having the weight. Stones, bricks. Okay, next is colored. Something which has color, anything. There are, most of the things are colored only, so you can take any of the example in that. Okay, any example which are colored, so you can say that is a colored thing. That is also a property of material. Next is magnetic, which attracted by magnet. Iron, copper. Okay, basically all the metals are attracted to magnet. Why? Because they have a property to attract, right? So that is something which easily attract to a magnet is called magnetic property. Bendy, you can say flexible. So this one and this one is a kind of similar words. Bendy means a flexible also. So you can take the same example as well. That is rubber band. Clear? So these terms are clear. Next. Hard. Something which cannot bend easily. For example, I am having this marker. I can bend them? No. So something which can't be bent easily. So that is I have taken an example. That is a marker, you can say, right? Marker is a kind of thing which can't be bent. For example, I am having this marker. Next, brittle. Brittle means when you throw them, when something falls from a great height, they can easily break. That is a glass. If you are having glass, okay, if you put it from here, what will happen? They will break. For example, you have a biscuit or a cookie. If you will throw them from a great height, what will happen? They will break. So brittle means it's hard but can break easily. Glass is a hard thing. The thing is that they can easily break. Next is malleable. It can be shaped easily. Malleable means, for example, metals. Okay, metals are of different kind. So metal is a kind of malleable thing. What will happen if we talk about gold? Okay, rings are different. For example, ring. If we talk about ring, you can easily give the shape to a ring. If you talk about so every metal, when you heat them up, what will happen? They can be soft. Okay, they can easily soft, and you can give anything, any object. I have given you an example about metals, but anything which you can give shape is a malleable thing. Next is magnetic. It's attracted to magnet, which we have studied in our this also. We have done these two things. Transparent. Something you can see through. For example, I have in cellophane paper. Now, what is a cellophane paper, beta? The cover of your book. The cover you have the cover which you use to protect your book now. So that is a cellophane paper. That is a transparent thing. Anything which you can put in front of you and you can easily see the other side. That is so you can say cellophane paper or a clear water. Or water. You have a clear water. You can easily see them from on the another side. So that is a transparent thing. Next is translucent, something which you can see partially. For example, butter paper. Butter paper, tissue paper. Okay. So they are translucent, means you can see but partially. Partially means that thing is not clear. Okay, the another object is not clear to you, the other side is not clear. So that is a partial thing. Opaque, something you cannot see through. Anything, for example, if I put a book, okay, your book in front of me, I can see on the another side? No. So something you cannot see through, that is a opaque thing. So for example, book, cardboard. Clear? So that is a opaque thing. Next is conductor. It allows heat and electricity to pass through them. Basically, metals are a good conductor of heat. Metals are the good conductor of heat. Anything which can pass or allow electricity to flow through them, they are called conductors. And what is the insulator? Which do not allow the electricity to pass through them, that is a wood. Example is wood. Okay, so it doesn't allow heat or electricity to pass through them. They are called insulators, and which allows heat and electricity to pass through them is a conductor. Clear, all of you? Okay, which of the previous words could you use to describe? If I have given an example, a pencil. A pencil is a hard thing. They are light in weight, also opaque, right? Right now I have given you a list of properties. So now I have given you an example. So how will you describe that thing according to their properties? So a pencil is a hard thing, right? Secondly, they have light in weight. Also they are opaque. Means Opaque means they are not transparent. If you put a pencil in front of you, you cannot see on the another side. So that is an opaque thing. Next, a window. A window can be a transparent as well as a translucent. Transparent means some windows or some glasses are there, okay, in windows in which you can see easily on the another side, but some windows are there in which you can see the partial things, means you can see but a blurred image you can see, right? Secondly, they have a property of hard. They are hard property. And brittle means you can easily break a glass. Basically, windows are made up of glass only, so that will break easily. Next is a piece of paper. A piece of paper is a light weight and opaque material, and malleable means you can give a shape to a paper in any shape, right? So that is a malleable. I have told you, when you can give shape to something, that is called a malleable thing, right? So this is a lightweight and opaque material, or also malleable. Okay. Next is a fork. A fork is a shiny material, a hard material, magnetic, opaque, and conductor. So there are 5 properties in a fork. Means they are shiny because it reflects light. Hard means you cannot easily bend them. Magnetic, it can easily attract to magnet. Opaque, you cannot see on the another side. And conductor means, as I told you, that every metal reflect anything which is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Next is material can be categorized into groups. Material can be categorized into groups. Okay. Materials can be categorized into groups. One of the main group is for example, if we talk about metal. Now, what are the properties of metal? There are so many properties of metal. First one is a shiny, means metals are shiny, it reflects light. Secondly, strong. You all know that metals are strong. Even any metal you can say they are strong. Secondly, they are the good conductor of heat and electricity. These are the properties of a metal. Some of the metals are magnetic in nature. They are usually opaque, means you cannot see on the another side of the metal. For example, aluminium, copper, iron, and lead. Okay, clear all of you? So these are the properties of metal. Next, these properties make metal suitable for many things. Okay, now you can see that metals are basically used for making hard things. Bridges, coins are made up of metals, tools are made up of metals, knives, forks, spoons are made up of metals, right? So metal is basically used for different purposes because they contain most of the properties. Now, can you think of any other uses of metal? There are so many things which is used for making metals which are used for making different kind of things, right? What are the uses and properties? Why is copper suitable for the electrical wiring? What properties must it have? Now, first of all, copper is used because it is the good conductor of electricity. It allows air to pass through them. Whenever you are taking a wire, for example, this wire I am having, okay. Now inside this wire there is a copper wire present. Why? Because copper is a good conductor of electricity, right? So first property, why we use copper for electricity? Because it is a good conductor of electricity. Secondly, it is strong. It is strong. You can see in this picture. Okay, you can see in this picture there are copper wires. Means in this there is a copper wire present. Clear? But for your protection, it is covered with the plastic. Okay. Next is, why are saucepans made from the metals? Which property make it suitable for the use? Why the saucepans or any metallic thing which is why it is made up of the metals only? Because metals are the good conductor of heat. Because it is a good conductor of heat. Clear? Because metals are the good conductor of heat. So the saucepans or any utensil, if you are using anything with material which are being used, okay, in your kitchens and wherever, so they are made up of the basically metals only, because metals are the good conductor of heat. Now, which property it contains? Why we use metals for the why we only use metals for the utensils? Because it is, as I told you, it is a good conductor of heat. Secondly, it is and does not melt with high temperatures. It easily do not melt. For example, if we use plastic, okay, if we use plastic utensils, what will happen? If we start raising the temperature, it will start melting. Okay, it will start melting, the utensil will start melting. So that's why we use the metals. So it does not melt with the high temperature. Secondly, it is strong. It is strong. There are so many other metals or the properties, for example, soluble and insoluble materials. Now, what is a soluble and insoluble material? An insoluble. This term is used for the solids. And if we talk about miscible and immiscible, miscible and immiscible. This is basically used for the liquids. Clear? Now, soluble and insoluble. Soluble and insoluble means the things which can easily mix, the solid thing which we can easily mix in a water. For example, if we are having salt, you can easily mix it in a water. So that property is called soluble. For example, if I have given you a spoon of sand, when you will mix it in a water, what will happen? It will get settled down at the bottom. So that is an insoluble material. But remember, the things which are solid, okay, in that only we can use this term, soluble and insoluble. And what are miscible and immiscible? When you are mixing liquid with a liquid. So miscible means when any liquid is get mixed with a water easily. For example, glycerin. We can say glycerin can easily mix with a water. So that is a miscible liquid. And if we talk about immiscible, for example, oil. When we mix oil in a water, what will happen? It make a different layer. It will make a different layer on the upper side of the water. So they are called the immiscible liquids. Clear? So immiscible and miscible term is used for the liquids, and soluble and insoluble terms are used for the solids. Clear? So I guess this topic is clear to all of you. Okay? That what are material, what are objects? An object is a physical substance which is used to make different kind of things. For example, metals, plastic, ceramic, glass and fibers, which are the main categories, means basically we use these kind of things, right, to make a particular object. Second is, if you look around yourself, you can see so many things, okay, which is made up of different kind of material. Next is, these are the examples I have given you, that what is the material, that the object, this is a object and this is the fiber is a material. So clothes which you are wearing right now are made up of fibers. Secondly, the chair you are sitting on is made up of the plastic. The windows in your school or in your homes are made up of the glass. Okay. Now, properties of material. A property of a material is a description of an object or a characteristic which it has. Okay. Now, they are the adjective which tells us about the material. Adjective means which a particular term you are using for a particular thing. So, material have different properties. That's why you can easily group out into things. That is how the characteristic, depending on what they are used for. What are the purpose of using a particular kind of material? Some materials are hard, whereas some are soft, whereas some are strong and others are weak. These are the terms or adjectives which we use to describe a particular thing or particular objects. That is shiny, strong, flexible, light, heavy, colored, magnetic, bendy, hard, brittle, malleable, magnetic, bendy, transparent, translucent, opaque, conductor, and insulator. After that, I have given you some words in which you have to tell that what kind of properties they have. A pencil, which is hard, have a lightweight, opaque. A window, which is a transparent or translucent object, hard, brittle. A piece of paper is a light, opaque and malleable substance. A fork is a shiny, hard, magnetic, opaque, and a good conductor of heat and electricity. Next, a metal we have taken a metal as a example that they contain all the these all are the properties of metal. That is, it is strong, shiny, good conductor of heat and electricity. They are magnetic. They are usually opaque. Also, aluminium, copper, iron, and lead. These properties are why we use metals for different kind of purposes, for making bridges, for making coins, for the tools, for the forks, and there are so many things we used for it. For what are the uses and properties? That they are the good conductor of electricity. The wires are the good conductor. The metals are the good conductor of electricity. Also, they are very strong. Next is they are good conductor of electricity or heat. Second, it does not melt on a high temperature, and also it is a strong metal. So that's why the utensils are basically made up of the strong things, or metals. Okay, clear all of you? So hope you are all cleared with the chapter. Thank you.